Peace, fam. It's the pressure cooker. Oh my gosh, it's been so long in between lives that sometimes I forget how to work StreamYard. It's not even hard. But they've changed a lot of things. They've added a lot of features. Um, I still got the free one trial. I used to, for like, I would say probably 2 years, I was donating to StreamYard. It was a pretty cheap plan. But then they phased that out and now they changed it. Well, I think they changed it maybe a year or so ago, and it's just super pricey now. So I'm not on here that much. So I'm not trying to donate $40 a month to StreamYard. It doesn't make sense. But anyway, I hope you're doing well. Shout out to anyone listening, and shout out to anybody watching the replay. I have quite a few topics that I want to get into today. So hopefully one of them will catch your ear or your eye. Um, oh, there's so much going on, so much. So many times I'm like, oh, I should make a video. Oh, I should do this, but child, life just be lifing, right? And I did make a video recently, actually, and it kind of connects to one of the topics I'm going to talk about today, related to the orange one and how people, low key support him sometimes and pretend like they don't. But anyway, I thought I would start with EJ Johnson. I almost forgot about him. I really wanted to talk about him. But before I do, I want to say rest in peace to my grandma. This is my mom's mom. Shout out to grandma. She did pass on and transition to the other side recently. And I'm looking forward to honoring her in her funeral service. She lived a long life, y'all. She was 96. She was tough as nails. And a lot of us get our sass from her. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna miss her. I wish I spent more time with her. I wish I visited her more. She's actually in Jamaica. But it's nice to have her as an ancestor now. It's not goodbye forever. So anywho, I just wanted to take a moment to say that. So let's get into EJ Johnson. Okay, child. First of all, let me tell y'all, with EJ Johnson, what I did was I actually took a step back and I listened to a lot of people do commentary on him, but it was very specific about whose commentary. I actually listened to a lot of people from the LGBT community first to see what was their take on it. What's some of their takes on what he was saying in this interview with Carlos King, excuse me. And it was interesting, it was eye-opening, and some of it was shocking. I was like actually surprised. And so if you don't know, EJ Johnson is Magic Johnson's son, and he lost mad weight. I don't know how long now, but he used to be super duper overweight, and he's super tall. I think he's like 7 feet or something crazy. Um, and he lost mad weight and had a glow up, and is dressed as more well, I shouldn't say more feminine now. Only dressed as feminine, really, and but still is still, doesn't really go by like it's he's not considered transgender. He's just dressed as feminine, and so he's glowed up his whole look and stuff since he lost a lot of weight, and been living his life. Been living his life, and recently he had an interview with Carlos King. And in the interview, EJ was asked different questions, about dating and things. And he made a couple comments regarding, I'm paraphrasing here, feeling like he did his, like, was more feminine than like actual women, looked better than actual women. Now remember, this is not a trans woman here. Okay, this is a gay man. I just want to clarify. This is a gay man. He's not a trans woman. Um, and so he was just saying all this stuff. And he, just comparing himself to women and how he does it better. And it was very interesting because I thought to myself, this is quite curious. And so I wanted to hear first, before I give my thoughts about what I felt about it. I listened to a few people, a bunch of them were gay men, and I listened to what they had to say. And actually, I even watched Funky, y'all. Like, I know I can't stand Funky Dineva. I can't stand him for years. But I did listen to him, and he actually had a very measured response. regarding what EJ said. And for the most part, a lot of people in the community were basically saying, EJ, you're being delulu, honey. And then also EJ had said he's not attracted to, nor does he date gay men. He says he only dates straight men. That was the other kicker. He's not attracted to, nor does he date gay men. He only dates straight men. So let's say it's, oh, I'll go in here. So no, he didn't say bi, y'all. He didn't say bisexual. He said they're straight men. So we're going to get into that. So he was kind of reprimanded by people in his community, and a lot of the takeaway that I got was a lot of people were like, "Sweetie, those aren't straight men. At the very least, they're bisexual men, right? Or closeted men." And it was so weird because it felt like EJ was trying to act like he was commanding this attention women and even competing with women. And I don't understand. There's a place, and it's totally fine to identify how you identify, have the sexuality that you have, dress however you want. I don't have an issue with that. My issue is, why do you have to tear down women in the process? Why do you have to tear down actual women? He was throwing a lot of shade and just being disrespectful. And to me, that just exposes his own insecurity, right? Like, first of all, sir, you are really tall. Okay, you present like a man. It don't matter how much makeup you got on. It don't matter what kind of popping dress you got on. You may look cute, but you're not outdoing any of the girls. Let's be clear. Okay, that was my first thought. I'm like, he has still very much masculine features. So to even, it's just crazy. And then talking about that he only attracts or is attracted to straight men. I've heard similar things before on here. One of the things that drives me crazy is when I hear people it's only online because I don't hear this in real life. Online, you hear gay men, some gay men, I should say, saying, "Yeah, I could take your man. I could take your man." And I'm thinking, like, honey, if you think or could take my man, then that man is not straight. Like, it's not a flex. It's like, I don't understand why is that a thing? Why can't you get your own? Why do you need to prove something by going for what you perceive to be straight men? Like, it's I think that's weird, y'all. I don't know about you, but I think that's weird. Like who you like, go for who you go for, but we're not kidding anybody. Those men aren't straight, or as we say, heterosexual. They're not. Okay, they are bisexual, or there's different terms. Some people say fluid, some people say pansexual, but honey, that's ridiculous. And so I don't even get mad about stuff like this, and I don't even feel threatened, because you have to know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Just like, I definitely support the trans community, but whenever I see people online saying from the trans community saying disrespectful or mean things towards women, cisgendered women, I don't even get mad anymore, because I'm like, you're just rage baiting. You're rage baiting, and you could never. Like, you're not a representation for your community. You're not a good representation for your community. There's other people living their life, celebrating, living their truth, and you're just creating chaos and confusion. You know what I'm saying? And so, because I think even there's a lot of stuff going on. Even with, I know some of y'all probably heard about the Tasha King and the DL Whisperer and the T.S. Madison. Honey, it's just a lot going on there. But that's for another video. But just, I don't get worked up. You know what it reminds me of? It's not the same thing. I don't get worked up, because when you know who you are, you can be solid in that truth. Like, it's kind of like, to me, how I don't understand women who get mad at Chris Brown, because he's been said for a long time he doesn't like dark skinned women. Okay, matter of fact, I don't even know if that man like black women, but that's another story. And it's not even just a preference thing. He's just disrespectful to darker skinned women. But the low self-esteem, insecure women, they want to force their way into that man's world, even though he's made a lot of disparaging comments. And to me, it's like, why would you ever want to force your way into somebody's world who doesn't want to be with you? Why? Like, I don't understand. Why would you support their music? Why would you like put money in their pocket? It's simple. I don't get some things. I just don't allow to make me mad because it's like that's not for me. So you could do what you need to do. It is what it is. That's how I feel about it. I don't get mad about Chris Brown because I don't watch Chris Brown. I don't listen to Chris Brown. I don't play his music. I don't buy his music. Do I think he's still talented? Absolutely, I do. But I'm not going to waste time on somebody that wouldn't piss on me if I was on fire. Like, you have to care about yourself enough to step away and avoid and not support people that mean you harm. Okay, and to that point, we're gonna get into what should we talk about next? Let's talk about Miss Chilli. Okay. Now Chilli really disappointed me, and here's why, guys. Because it's not because I'm like, oh my god, she is actually secret mega, and I'm so heartbroken. That's not what I'm heartbroken about. Because you can't trust these celebrities. I actually defended Chili so many times. Let's say I was on LSA. LSA be dragging her for filth. Prior to this, she was getting dragged for filth regularly because they felt like Chili didn't want to be seen as or associated with Black women. One time she had called, I guess somebody referred to her as a Black woman, and she was like, I'm not a Black woman, I'm a brown woman. And to me, I didn't think it was a big deal. I was like, that doesn't mean she doesn't identify as Black, like, because she is multiracial. So I used to defend her because I'm like, oh, sometimes I think we're too sensitive. I think as a people, if you're not like 100%, yeah, I'm Black, whatever, then people think you're an op or a traitor. And I just didn't think much of it. I'm like, well, she's just wants to leave room to celebrate different aspects of her identity. And so I would defend Chili. And then child. So recently, I think this happened a few days ago, maybe last week, because she's supposed to go on tour. Her and T-Boz are supposed to go on tour with Salt and Pepper and somebody else. I can't remember. Child, they said that Chili retweeted a post about Michelle Obama. Now, if y'all watch my last video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's kind of crazy, the synchronicities. She retweeted a post about Michelle Obama, referring to Michelle Obama as a man. Remember, I told you there's this conspiracy theory, and a lot of people in the conscious community like to perpetuate that. But I digress. That's what my video is about. And she claimed that she's not computer savvy, and the repost button. She must have hit the repost button. And people just aren't going for it, y'all. They're like, no, you're full of it, ma'am. You're full of it. Now, it is easy to hit the repost button. But first of all, your algorithm, why is that in your algorithm? Why is Michelle Obama is a whole man? Why is that popping up in your feed? See, that's suspect right there. Hey, my Dione, good to see you, sis. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And see, I was dumb. I confess, I was foolish. I was like, oh, I don't think it's like that. Because, I grew up listening to TLC. I love TLC. And I'm like, she got to, we make assumptions like she's with two other Black women. There's no way she's not proud. But we realize some of these people are smushed together and you don't know what they think and believe, my Dione. You don't really know. It's crazy. Yeah, she didn't want to be a dark skinned woman. So I was like, oh, maybe, whatever. Maybe because isn't she part Bangladesh or something? Well, I don't remember which one of her parents. So I thought it was that. I was like, I don't think she hating, whatever. But now I bow down to those people who peep that game from a distance. They were right, because this exposes slowly how she feels about herself and how she feels about being identified as Black. And that's just ridiculous. And so Chili thinks that we're stupid, like the rest of the people in MAGA. Say, now, let me stop. That's mean. So she was talking about something. She hit it by accident. Right? She hit it by accident. No, I don't believe she hit it by accident. I believe it was on purpose. Your algorithm is shady if that's popping up. And also, like, why, like, you should have just stayed quiet. If you're going to come out here with this weak lie, just stay quiet. And here's why. Baby, the internet, y'all know the internet sleuths, they be digging up receipts. There's mad receipts of Chili liking posts about Trump Like she's done this before, liking MAGA like posts. They found the receipts. Like I was on LSA and I was reading it. I was like, oh my god, they done popped her. So to me, it made it worse for her to lie in my face. Like if that's who you are, either own it or just shut up. Because girl, what you're trying to do is control your coins. This has nothing to do with her being sorry, y'all. She's about to go on tour. Okay, she's messing up the money and she's scared. She's scared that people are going to not buy these tickets or ask for a refund as they should. Like, I'm at a place where I've been at this place for a while and I told y'all I herself like look at the wickedness that's happening in the states. Democrat versus Republican. Like this isn't about just that. It's deeper than that. And so if you align with those people, no. If I find out you're not getting a dollar from me, period. Right. Why was it in her algorithm in the first place? Exactly. She's oh yes, thank you, Mighty Oni. I forgot a key point. Thank you. Plus, she's a donator for MAGA. That was the smoking gun, y'all. Before they found those posts and popped her, they found out that she had donated money to Trump's campaign. So, like, what are you talking about? You're obviously lying. You're obviously lying. I'm not supporting anyone who looks like us. Thank you, who hates us. Period. See, Mighty only gets it. That's exactly what I'm saying. See, we could allow ourselves to be blinded. Like I said, I grew up watching and listening to them, love TLC. And so that was my blinder, thinking, oh, this it's three black women. They're black, 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 black. Like, no, like there's a lot of these celebs that are conservative. And I'm gonna get into that. Why they're conservative, because really it comes down to money, y'all. They're just trying to get them tax write-offs. That's really what it is. These people are super rich and they don't want the IRS coming for their coins. That's really what it is. Now, there might be some other sprinkles of things. I'm not saying there's not people who are politically leaning towards that for other reasons, but I think mainly it's money. Like you saw Snoop Dogg when he I think it was the first term that Donald Trump was running. Snoop Dogg was talking smack about Donald Trump and I don't remember, but he made this funny video. And then the next round, he was on. I don't want to say he performed for him. I don't want to lie on him, but he basically was pro Trump after that. I said, wow, that is a far place to fall. How do you go from talking smack in these videos? Hey TMZ, shout out to TMZ. How do you go from that to that? It's like greed, money, because I'm not just going to say rappers. The rappers tend to have a lot of money, but these people in the industry, they got money. That's all they're doing. That's all they're protecting. Okay. And so you have to be careful. Don't assume just because they look like us, that they support us. If these people aren't speaking out, a lot of times I've even heard people talk about Beyonce. They said, oh, Beyonce didn't speak out about this and that. And it's not even, we can't just be waiting for them to speak out. We need to focus on ourselves, but that's another story. But I'm like, yeah, sometimes these people ain't gonna speak out because they're not really about that life. they're about the optics. How is this gonna make me money? How is this gonna make me look good? So if pandering will take them to a certain level, they'll do it. But there's certain things they're not gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So as much as ignorant as Cardi B could be and how she drives me nuts sometimes, at least Cardi B is willing to come out here and be like, yeah, nah, this is wrong. Yes, he's a fake hypocrite. Absolutely, my Tioni. He called other rappers sellouts for doing what he ended up doing himself because the check was right. The check is checking. That's all he care about. That's all they care about, and it's sad. And that's why with Chilli, coupled with her self-hate and not wanting to be identified as a dark or black woman, yeah, it's all there now. I don't believe her. You can look at her and tell she's lying. Like, this sounds weird because it's like, oh, how do you know? I don't believe her, y'all. I think she's straight up lying. Even without finding the donations, it doesn't make any sense. None of it makes any sense. And it's just so sad because a lot of stuff's happened to her. Like, she's been through a lot of stuff, but remember, don't assume that these people are riding for you or care about you. Um, they're just trying to make their coin, just like some of them spiritual people I was telling you about that I was following. That they, most of them wouldn't come out and say they were pro-Trump, but they had no problems hating on Kamala. And it wasn't even about Kamala. I want y'all to understand. I'm not saying they needed to support Kamala. That's not what I'm saying. But it was easier for them to be misogynistic and even anti-black towards Kamala than they were to call Trump out. Okay, it's weird, it's crazy. So I pay attention to stuff like that. I'm like, why is this so easy for you? Why are you aligning with this person? And like I said, I'm so serious. If somebody in my life, if I find out that they're mega through and through, you will gently get cut off. Period. This man is wreaking havoc on the world, and not just this man, the administration is wreaking havoc on the world. It's that deep. Don't come to me and try to act like it's not, because I don't want to hear it. I just don't. I'm tired of the gaslighting, So anyway, that's what I had to say about Chilli. Fuck that hoe. And I don't care. I hope she gets this financial ass whooping. I hope it does affect her coins. And the people defending her like Salt, they probably know she a whole MAGA supporter. I'm not going. I don't believe her. And it's just sad, guys. It's just sad. And there's a lot of people. I think there's a lot more, because recently Nick Cannon and Amber Rose, but Amber Rose isn't Amber Rose. She's not black, isn't it? I don't even remember what her ethnicity is. I don't remember her situation. Amber Rose and Nick Cannon was also, popping mad smack and supporting Trump. But these two are like misfits. Like, I don't take them seriously. Nick Cannon got 11 kids. There's no way. You might be financially available to those kids, but you're not emotionally available. You can't be emotionally available to 20 kids or however many kids he has. I don't give a shit. It's just not happening. Okay? Period. Your money can only go so far. Like, your money will give them a good life. It'll make sure that they're not going to want for nothing. But emotionally, are you present in their life? You're not. You can't be. They're all different mothers. So I don't want to hear from Nick Cannon. I'm nothing for sale. I mean, want to hear. Okay. And Amber Rose, girl, you listen. I've been stopped checking for Amber Rose when she talking about the slut walk and stuff. Girl, bye. I don't take her seriously. Amber she is biracial. Okay, she's not black. She's an interloper. Yes, she is. I can't stand her nor Nick Cannon. Exactly. So we don't care what y'all saying. Period. Mighty only got it. I don't care what Amber Rose or Nick Cannon has to offer politically, because number one, you're probably just focused on money, and number two, you're not important to us. Period. So just a mess. Amber's mother is from some island off the coast of Africa. I didn't know that. Her mom is mixed but leans a bit towards black, but her father is 100% white. Oh, okay. Thank you, TMZ. It's a mess. Me don't want to hear it, that's all. Exactly. Right, Tioni. Me don't want to hear it. Because they just think we're stupid. They think we're stupid. Our eyes are open. Our eyes been open. Like, people aren't worshiping celebrities like that no more. Listen, if this P. Diddy, and I got to watch myself because my ADHD. If this P. Diddy R. Kelly situation, especially the P. Diddy joint and the Epstein stuff, didn't open people's eyes, I don't know what to tell you. Like, these celebrities are involved in a bunch of mess, and I don't think it's all of them. To be fair, but I think it's a strong fight to be normal in that industry, to not do some of the stuff that they be doing, to not be entangled with the mess, So, child, I can't take these people seriously. So that's it. Bye, Chilli. Good day. So we talked about EJ and his delulu self. We talked about Miss Chilli. I want to talk about Druski. Baby, Druski had me in tears. When I tell you I've watched that clip so many times, it's an unhealthy amount of times. I got my whole life the Erika Kirk Skit, and I think something happened to his channel. I think in the middle of the stuff that was going down, I think he took some videos down initially, because when I went to go watch it on his channel, I couldn't find it. I was watching it on other people's channels. I could not find it, and so I think he must have taken it down or something while he was trying to fix or tweak things. Child, listen, this one is He took home the gold on this one. Now I have come across Druski before, but I until he did a recent skit about a pastor, and I watched the skit about the pastor. Didn't watch the I didn't know it was based on a real life pastor. I just thought it was hilarious. Like I grew up in church, you know, and he nailed a lot of things. It was funny by itself. And then when I found out this was about a real pastor, child, listen, it was a reenactment. It was a whole funny reenactment when I found out because I said, oh my God, this man really said and did these things. It was crazy. So that's kind of like his style for some of the stuff. And so when I saw the Erika Kirk skit, first of all, let me tell you something. I don't like, well, this is a no-brainer. I don't like her. She gives me very fake energy. Okay. And you know, her husband, it was, even though it was wrong the way it was wrong that he was murdered, child, that's all I got to say about that because he did a lot of, and said a lot of hateful things. Okay. I don't promote and support for him to be murdered, but other than that, I'm not shedding a tear because he said a lot of evil things, a lot of misinformation, and a lot of racist things towards Black people. So, okay, Charlie, what? Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend, to be mournful. I'm not. And what was even more disturbing was the way she behaved after his death. Now, to be fair, everybody grieves differently. So I try not to make it a point. I try to make it a point not to criticize people the way that they grieve because everyone grieves differently. Not everybody's going to be boo-hooing, snot running down their face and stuff. Not everybody's going to be like that. And it doesn't mean they don't care or they're not, sad. However, there's other things about her presentation that are concerning and other things about her rhetoric that are concerning. But her husband's rhetoric was concerning, right? So it's not a surprise. And the way she was behaving and the activities she was engaging in after his death, she wasn't behaving. Those weren't activities for a wife in mourning. Okay. So it was weird. Like, and you know what they say in the South, a hit dog will holler. Erika Kirk is big mad because the funniest part, do y'all know he never said her name in the skit, y'all? If you didn't watch it, please go watch it because it's so funny. You don't even have to know all the references, okay? She starts out dancing. Remember when she came in with the sparklers? I think this was at the funeral. And then, of course, Druski, put, 20 upon 10, and he's doing all kinds of like dances and stuff. And he nailed it. He nailed the look. He nailed the creepy stare. Okay, just the what is that word? She's just not there. She just looked hollow. He nailed her mannerisms. I would be mad too if I was Erika. Okay, he totally got her. Okay, Mighty Young said, "Pressure these religions and politics were not created to suit us." Period. That's my take, and I absolutely agree with you. But some people, dang, it's gonna be hard to hear that. It's true. I totally agree with you. And so he nailed all of that. And so then that was one part of it. What else did he do? And I think he even described the video as how conservative women be, like how conservative women. I don't even know if he said white women, and he never said her name. In fact, there was a skit in there where she was at a Pilates class and she was struggling on the Pilates machine, and you hear the instructor say, "Hannah, you okay, girl?" It was hilarious. He went to the drive-thru. And he's like, passively aggressively asking for organic. The way he said that took me out. I watched that so many times. Organic. And then he's like, I'll have a pup cup, organic pup cup, because the puppy was on his lap. And it was so funny, y'all. Do they really have stuff like that? Do they really have pup cups and drive-thru? I feel like that would be something that would exist in like California. I say you can order something for your pooch right through the drive-thru. These people, them pooches are living good, but I ain't mad. I'm not mad at people's fur babies. Whoever did the makeup, they need an award, sis. They need an award, absolutely, because honey, he slayed that lace front slayed. The makeup, it was so crazy. And I was just like, what am I watching? What is going on? But my absolute favorite part of that skit, y'all, was when she was on the stage. Because this is real. I remember her saying this. I don't watch or listen to her, but I remember hearing or reading about this. Erika Kirk stood up at the podium and talked about not being ashamed to be a white man and how the country is built on the backs of white men. Can y'all believe this shit? We can't even get through the rest of the statement. She had the nerve to stand up on the podium. These people are hateful, y'all. They're hateful. She had the nerve to stand up on the podium, both her arm. Don't be ashamed to be a white man. Now that is, I don't even know what to label that as, because nobody's telling you to be ashamed to be a white man. What that is you low-key saying you shouldn't feel bad for XYZ. You don't have white privilege. Like, it's just, it's so infuriating. So infuriating. I was so mad at that. And she was saying this. And then when she put the nail in the coffin was, both sides of the country built upon the backs of white men. Bitch, where? Which country? Like, what is she talking about, y'all? Like, these people just, they make my ass itch. Like, I just get so mad. I get so mad because I'm like, are you serious right now? If gaslighting was a person, you would be it. And then in Druski skit, as he's saying these things that she did say, there's a black security guard behind him. And the black security guard is just giving the side eye like, is this bitch for real? I'm sitting up here defending your ass. I'm sitting up here putting my body in the way to protect you. And yeah, you up here saying this ish. Like, it was so crazy. It was so good. And it was the perfect snapshot of who I believe like, I don't even want to say conservative, because there's people that's conservative that have sense. We're just gonna say MAGA. Because I don't want to throw everybody under the bus. And it's just a perfect capture of that, and just the cluelessness that happens, right? And so I obviously watched the video many times, but I also listened to different people give commentary. One of the videos that I watched was Lovely T, and she posted responses from different people, and I'm just going to share a couple that stood out to me. Okay, one was from a black woman, a black Christian woman, and one was from a white Christian man. Okay, first I'm going to start with the black woman. The black woman said she's some type of prophetess or something. That's what T said. I don't know. This lady going to say, the Druski stuff. And she wasn't angry. She was calm. And she was talking about how she talked to God, y'all. She said, I talked to God, and he told me he's not pleased with this skit. And I said, oh, honey, tell me, what did he say? What did he say? So she said God was like, he's not pleased with it because, I guess because Erika, because like she had lost her husband or whatever. And she was just making excuses for it. And I was just like, girl, was God pleased when Trump said good when Robert Mueller died? Was God pleased then? Did you make a video about that? Like, I don't understand. Why? You came out here to check a black comedian, okay? Trump wasn't being funny. He was dead ass when he said good that Robert Mueller died, okay? MAGA they were silent as crickets. There was nothing going on. It was crickets. It was nothing. When he did that, when he said that and posted that to social media, absolutely nothing happened. Disgusting. Imagine you have 1 foot in this world in the grave and have the nerve to say good that this man died. That's how you know that man got a demon riding his back. Anyway, so I didn't hear nobody say nothing. And I don't know if this prophetess made a video about that, because I know God's not pleased about that, ma'am. But we didn't hear anything about that. So anyway, that just annoyed me. And then this white man, he was like, I'm trying to get through this woosah. He was like, he said, brought up the same thing. She lost her husband 7 months ago. And this is where he got me. People were comparing this to George Floyd, and he named another person that died by the hands of the police. You know what this man said? He said that's not the same thing because those people were committing crimes. He said they were evading and avoiding the police, and that they get what they get. But Charlie, the angel of God, he was just talking on a campus and he got shot. Now, let me tell you what the most problematic, thank you, not sorry. Thank you. Let me tell you what the most problematic part about what this man is saying. And this is the issue that I have. This man actually had the audacity to reference that people were saying, well, you didn't show compassion when so and so died, and you didn't show compassion when this person died. He actually justified, first of all, these people were like unfairly, unjustly killed. That man didn't validate the fact that they were murdered by the police. Okay. That man didn't validate that these people have families. Do you see the dehumanization there? He didn't even say, oh, but they have families. Thank you. Oh, I'm going to go back and read all these comments because this is exactly. He didn't say anything. Those people have families, y'all. Even if you can't resonate, even if you want to be Blue Lives Matter, the law is the law. Da, 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 da. These people have families. No compassion, no validation. This is exactly the snapshot of who these racist ass MAGA people are. AKA, they don't give a fuck about your sadness. They don't give a fuck about your grief. They don't care if you get ran down by the police. They don't care what happens to you. It's only about what is bothering them. It's only about their side. Because if you can regurgitate that story that you were challenged by these people, and you didn't even have an ounce of empathy and compassion to say, I can understand why people would be sad. Maybe it's because I'm a therapist, but no, I'm a human being. Oh my goodness, these people lost their lives. If you can't even do that, something's wrong. You can't even begin to have a conversation. Like, I would never engage with somebody like this. And then he had the nerve to repeatedly say, that's demonic. That's demonic. That's demonic. No, sir, you're demonic. Okay, you lack empathy. And you know who else is demonic? The people that follow Donald Trump and Donald Trump. Donald Trump saying good that this man died, that's demonic. Donald Trump advising ICE to go terrorize the fuck out of people is demonic. Okay, you don't know what demonic is. See, people think they can just take these words and make you feel bad. I don't feel bad about that. I don't feel bad. If you think I'm demonic because I laughed at the Erika Kirk skit, it don't faze me because you can't tell me who I am. I'm not going to feel guilty. Please understand, I'm not going to lose sleep or a meal over this. Because that don't make no damn sense. Like, you're not gonna get me with your Christian jargon. It's not happening, bro. Like, he was just saying that it's just demonic. I was just thinking, like, what's going on here? What's going on? You know, so damn ridiculous. And it infuriated me because it lacked empathy. You want us to empathize with a racist, evil, bigoted bitch and his, like, that died. You want us to empathize over that, but you can't see that these people that have been gunned down and their trachea has been crushed by the police. You don't have no compassion for that. This is what I have to say to that. I can understand, because I'm a human being, even though I laughed at the Druski skit, I can understand that people may be offended by this, and that those people might be like, oh my God, she lost her husband. This is inappropriate. There's room for that. Those things could be true. It could be funny. And there could be people that's like, oh, maybe this is in poor taste. I don't agree with those people, but there's room for those people to feel that way. But when you're going to sit there and say there's only room for us to grieve and be mad for Erika, fuck you, sir. Fuck you and your demons. Anyway, moving right along. Let me read these comments. I did that one. I'm so glad you went live, girl. I've missed you. I miss you too. I was just like, I need to get off my lazy butt and do some stuff, y'all. I really have been wanting to get on here, but it's like planning. I need to get better at planning these, even if it's just once a week. Oh, I miss it. It just makes me so mad, y'all. So mad, as if the white male isn't the ones in charge. Thank you. Just like Black Nicki Minaj. Absolutely. Nicki Minaj is also dead to me. Terrible. Did any of them care about Breonna Taylor? This part. Philando Castile, Trayvon, Sandra, or any of the blacks say nope, because all they have to do is say ignorant stuff. Then I don't care about them, period. See, you have to have radical self-care. You cannot let these people, this is how we survive this shit. If you, because they're gonna go ahead and laugh. I even heard a lot of people listen. I was trolling on the internet, I confess. Let me tell you what I did. They don't see us as humans. They don't. That part. See, that's why it's easy for them to not have empathy. I was under a Druski skit discussion, and here goes some Tegareg, a racist person. He gonna talk about, I'm gonna I'm gonna wear blackface, and I'm going to the XYZ and see how you niggas feel. This is why I don't like YouTube. YouTube will block intelligent, critical thinking comments from your page when you're addressing certain topics. But did YouTube block or censor this man writing niggas? And it wasn't that creative. He just put a Z on it. Okay. But let me write the word black and see how quick, or racism, or something else. Epstein. They so quick to, the Google moderator be taking your comment down, even on your own channel, y'all. But this man was able to write niggas. He was able to write niggas. So he was saying all this and and I said, go for it. Go for it. I want you to, but when you do, I want you to go to the blackest community and do it in the middle of the community. And then I said, rip my wigger. Because I'm just like, what? Do you think I'm going to get mad? Do you think I'm going to get mad because you've been doing blackface? Y'all been doing that. You've been doing that. Don't faze me. Like, it's not going to stop the evil racist ass people from doing it. So, sir, don't get your boxers twisted in a bunch, because I don't care. More power to you. I was just like, I know he was looking for, oh my gosh, I'm so angry. Comedian Jamie Kennedy has a career out of wearing blackface. There you go. So I don't care about Charlie, Erika, nor the rest of them. Period. And also, let's also be clear. See, they be having these false equivalencies. That's not the same thing anyway. Blackface has its unique history, and there's a whole bunch of stuff behind it. There's a whole lot behind blackface. So when people try to come up here and create these false equivalencies, you can fuck all the way off with that, because I don't want to hear it. Period. Exactly. YouTube, Google, like the racist side, they do. I see it all the time. I see stuff in the comment section. I'm like, how did this slide? But let me tell you, I've been creative with my spiciness towards people, and they still be blocking that joint. I don't even got no curse words. I just be saying sassy stuff to people. Google moderators snatch my shit. But you can say niggas. And I've seen other things in there. I've seen other racial slurs, horrible things. And I'm not like, it's just so crazy to me. That's why I don't trust Google. I don't. Because, well, yeah, Google owns YouTube. This is why I don't trust them, because, and I absolutely believe that they target Black content creators. I'm sure we're not the only ones. They probably target some of the brown people too, but I absolutely believe that they repress and target Black people. I don't think we get paid the same. There's some lucky few, and I'm not talking about, now I'm not consistent. I'm not talking about myself. I'm not consistent. I'm not on here pumping out content. I'm not talking about myself. I don't deserve, the algorithm to work in my favor, because my ass ain't on here. But there's people that's grinding, making quality content consistently, and they're now nowhere near their white counterparts. They're nowhere near their white counterparts. And so to me, I absolutely believe that YouTube represses Black content creators. You can't tell me otherwise. You absolutely cannot. They do, TMZ. I don't believe it for a second. And so it's just crazy to me, like they're just on some BS, because they stay trying to demonetize stuff. This is why I say what I want to say. Sometimes I do censor myself, but this is why I say what I want to say, because they do what they want to do anyway. I have a subscriber who, like, y'all might know Tiffany. It's been a while, but Tiffany is always commenting and stuff from her one page, And they just like, she wasn't putting any curse words. She wasn't saying anything inappropriate, and they would constantly remove her comments. It was so bad, it wasn't even popping up in my feed to approve it. You know how you can like go in and approve comments and stuff? I don't know, they were just targeting her, but her content is like very specific, and it's black oriented, it's blackity black black. Like it no, they don't like us, y'all. They try it. And Google is mad racist because what was I was something I was reading a couple months ago. Oh my god, this is around the time TikTok is bad too, child. Listen, I'm not surprised, and especially now because isn't there a different version in the US? Like, didn't the administration buy it or something from China because they didn't want China, you know, messing with us or whatever. I heard it's way worse now. I don't have TikTok because because of ADHD. My brain would just turn to mush with them 1 minute videos, child. I said, let me stick to the shorts on YouTube. They let so many racist comments. They absolutely do. They don't care. When what's his name? Michael B. Jordan. When he and Delroy Lindo, the BAFTA thing happened, it was something else that happened around that time, and Google was popped because they had said, I don't even know why I'm laughing because it's just crazy. I think it was the same story, y'all. It was the same story, but what Google did, you know, when you have an article and then there's more, and you click see more, and sometimes it'll say see more about da 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 da. Let's say it's about turtles. It'll say see more about turtles. Google, for that particular article about remember when that man who had Tourette's was calling them the N-word at the award show, which I still don't believe. Like, I believe people have Tourette's and they can't control it, but that was just too timely. But I'm gonna stay on topic. Google had the nerve to write "see niggas." That's what they wrote for the link to continue reading. "See niggas." Child, what are we gonna do with this wicked ass people? I got flagged for post. Thank you. A historic picture of Irish people in chains. Bingo. But they ain't had no problem with your other posts, do they, TMZ? Because you post a lot about Black history and hidden gems in our history. They ain't had no problem with that. But you posted Irish people in chains because they don't want the truth to come out. They don't. Like, there's no way these are just bots. Some of these are bots, but some of these people, I'm convinced they just sitting up there trying to suppress information. Oh yes, the British award show, the BAFTA. I was so mad about that because, first of all, these men, like, Sinners was just so good, y'all. It was so good. I watched that joint 2 times. I'm probably gonna watch it again soon. And it wasn't just about they always want to try to steal our joy. They're either energy harvesting or trying to steal our joy. And that was what that was. They were trying to take away from Michael and Delroy's success. That's what that was. I don't listen. Again, I'm in the mental health field. I don't want to spread ignorance and misinformation. Are there people with Tourette's? Absolutely. Can they blurt out inappropriate things out of their control? Absolutely. But you know what, sir? But Tourette's doesn't make you racist. Okay? The people that I've been around who have Tourette's, they could say, like, inappropriate words, or they could be like, fuck, just out of nowhere. Like, they're not mad. Yes, that can happen. But if you're out here blurting out niggas when there happens to be 2 Black people on stage, if you don't fuck all the way off with your bullshit, that is racism. Okay, don't blame it on your disorder. I don't buy it. Period. Then you need to uninvite your ass if it's that bad, or you should have taken extra medication. I'm sorry, I'm not going. About that BAFTA thing they edited. Yes, thank you. Another thing I forgot. Thank you, my Tioni. They had the nerve to edit out "Free Palestine." I read about this, but not the end. Oh my gosh, he said "N bitch." I didn't even know it was. I thought it was just N-word. Child, these people. Yeah, you were able to edit that out because they wanted to humiliate those men. They wanted to humiliate those men. I don't care what anybody says. That was the goal. It was to bring them low. They know that sinners blew them away. Okay, all of that. What's the one with Timothy Chalamet? The Marty movie. Child, it don't got nothing on sinners. Okay. Yes, I I absolutely believe it was rigged. TMZ. I absolutely believe that they did it on purpose. And as soon as I heard that story, my spirit said, "This shit is fake." And y'all trying to blame mental health. Let this had been a black person that said crackers. Do you think they would have been Tourette's advocate out there talking about the mental health? What would happen if this was a black person that was like crackers? They would have kicked them out. Oh my God, I can't believe this happened. I can't. No, because y'all don't give us the same. We don't get to have mental health issues. We don't get to have mental health issues. Get the fuck out of here. Like, they definitely did that on purpose. 200%. The guy who said it doubled down. That was the other thing. Yes, he did. Yes, he did, Mighty Oni. Absolutely. Absolutely doubled down. Okay, that was how I knew he was a racist ass fool. And I'm like, at the very least, sir, all you have to do is apologize. Even if, let's say, this was truly an outburst. All you had to do was say, "I'm so sorry. I can't control this." No, you proceeded to do apology tours for why you have Tourette's, and you don't got to apologize for it because it's out of your control. Like, and then I forget, he got dragged from Timbuktu and back, and then he apologized. I don't remember what it was that made him finally apologize, but he did, and by then it's stale and dry, and we don't want it. Exactly. No other group can be talked about, especially the Jays. Absolutely. But we're free range. Absolutely. You can't say not one bad word about the Jays. Okay? They stay on code. Um, and the system is set up to protect them. But us, it's all kind of ninjas running around the street in the comment section and in the award ceremonies. But you can't break our spirit, dum dums. Like, if that's the best that you can do, that man still walked away with the damn Oscar. And even if he didn't, he's still a winner. We've learned how to be winners without your stupid trophies and awards. We've learned that we are winners and we are magical. So whether they got that award or not, they're still winning, honey. Like, are you kidding me? Like, we've learned to transcend that shit because we don't get our just dues anyway. We don't get the stuff we're supposed to get. So we have to learn to know when we're awesome and when we're doing the damn thing because y'all don't want to give it to us. We can't wait for y'all to give it to us. So all those attempts to break his spirit or, the spirit of black people around the world, you ain't did shit. There's so many people, they be trying hard, y'all. I've seen so much stuff. Even in this administration, every week I feel like every week for the first like 7 months, they were trying to do something to incite anger in the black community because they really wanted us on the streets. They really wanted us out there so they can kill us, so they can have reasons for running us down. And black people everywhere was like, "Nah, I'm chilling at home. I'm doing self-care." They were doing everything. They were saying all kinds of nonsense and all kinds of fear mongering. And you know what? When them realize that nobody now pay attention, then them start attack the Spanish people. Them. Did y'all notice that? Am I making this up, y'all? Tell me if I'm making this up. They was doing the absolute most. They even, and then after they done whooped on the Hispanic people, then they had the Hispanic people saying that we weren't doing enough. The same people, not all of them. Shout out to the Hispanics who love us and realize we're all brothers and sisters. Okay, but they had the same people who voted against us yelling at us, talking about some, "Why aren't you protesting? This affects you too." Why? Like, you were right, black people. Like, are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Listen, these people, they tried hard, honey. They tried hard. And I saw that black people were smart and they took a step back and they were like, "No, I'm resting." And there was definitely a space that was needed for that. They were big mad. You even had white people in social media talking about why aren't the black people protesting? Yeah, because y'all wanted to see modern day Coliseum shit. That's what y'all wanted. Y'all wanted to throw us in the damn arena to be eaten by the lions and tigers. And black people said, no, we staying at home. This is not our fight. And they were so mad, y'all. They were so mad. They were so mad. But it's crazy. It's so crazy. What else I got on here? Okay, this next topic is controversial. All my topics are controversial, but this one I'm still processing. So that's my disclaimer. I promise to keep an open mind, so y'all don't have to be scared to drop down and say what you believe. Because I'm still in process with this, and I have to go back and do research because I have a very strong view about this next topic, and I'm trying to open myself up to the possibility of change, or is it possible? And then I just get mad and be like, nah, But y'all see when I get into it. Nope. Blacks been getting the dirty end of the stick, so we are not getting on the front line. Absolutely not, for no other groups who voted against their own interests. Period. We ain't going. I'm so proud of black people. I'm so proud of y'all. Just because I'm in a different country, I support. Okay, my black Americans, my continental black people, everybody. Like, y'all did not go out there. Y'all didn't you didn't put your body on the line for these people. Because the truth is, they're not doing it for us. And I'll never forget, this is not me inciting shenanigans or violence, because I love all people. Okay, I do. But I remember with when the Asian people were getting their ass kicked by the administration, there was a lot of them asking for our help as well. And they were, why do people come? Why is it always black people that needs to be on the front lines? They always ask for us, not other Asians, not the white people that they worship. They were mad, and they were like, black people ain't doing XYZ. Black people need to come out here. And I just don't understand, because some of y'all aren't very kind to us, but you're asking for help. Okay? Now, if you're not one of those people, I'm not talking to you. But, there's a long history there. Why are you asking for the help of people that you don't respect? You're asking for the help of people who you move into their neighborhoods. Okay, you make mad money off of them with all kinds of stuff, your products, but you don't look at us as equals or human beings. But we're good for muling, right? We're good for putting our bodies on the line for you and overusing our throat chakras to help your ass. Get mad if you want to. Get mad if you want to. People are getting smart. And I'm not saying black people shouldn't fight and there's not a place for us, to go out there and do stuff. But I'm so glad people took a step back, because that's self-preservation, that's self-care. I really think our healing points went up significantly just by saying no. When you play a game and sometimes they got med kits and stuff, and they have a health bar, and I think black people's health bar was like under 50. And I think them saying, I'm going to rest, that joint is at 75% at least, despite all the foolery that has ensued since the Orange Demon got into office. That joint went up. That joint went up because we're learning to take care of ourselves. Okay. That energy is invested into eating healthier, working out, spending time with our family and friends, not trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho. Okay. And that is healthy, because what other cultures are doing that? I'm not saying there's not people. We have allies. I'm not trying to poo-poo the allies, don't get me wrong. But what other cultures are doing that, are breaking their backs, giving up things, neglecting their families for the cause? No, they're not. So I'm so glad that black people did that for themselves. It was like a long bath, okay, a long hot bath. that they needed, not because they're dirty, but just to restore their soul and their body. And people get mad. When you see people, anytime you see people in your life or around you that get mad when you try to get healthy in any way, you better take notes. Okay? Them people that be like, no, you lost too much weight. I'm not talking about unless you have a whole eating disorder, honey. I'm not talking about the people that's doing the most. I'm talking about you trying to get healthy, you trying to eat right, you trying to exercise, and people be like, oh, girl, you don't got to do all that. Oh, no. Oh, you're doing your self-care and they're mad, run. Look the other way. That's not somebody that you need to spend time with. And maybe they're still in your life because you don't have a choice. But you need to limit your time with them because they're going to hinder your goals. Okay? Even if they think they mean well. This is the same thing. People telling you, go out there, protest. Meanwhile, they're sitting at home watching from their computers and their iPhones. Like, are you serious? You putting up a black screen on social media is not going to help my black body. It's not. You doing a podcast? Okay. It can help spread information. It's not going to help my black body, though. You know what I'm saying? Don't pay attention to them people when you're taking care of yourself. You don't need their permission. Take care of yourself when you need to. And that includes family members. Some of us, we may have family members that be hating and stuff. Thankfully, my mom and my sister are supportive. But you pay attention to that shit. When you're trying to get healthy or you're trying to do some self-care and people be acting like you're brand new or you're doing too much. No, ma'am, Pam. So the next topic, and then I'm going to shut my mouth, y'all. This is so hard for me because I'm okay to changing my point of view or considering alternative viewpoints, but I really struggle with this one. So I watched a video, maybe like 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and it was from the channel The Black Cauldron. I had just recently found her, and she does a lot of stories about, y'all know I like spooky stories, and some of these have to do with magic or different things. But this particular story was about, she was covering the Epstein files, and she did a series. She was showing a series of videos and did some commentary about the Epstein files and how in one of the documents, hey Lexi, hey girl, in one of the Epstein emails, there was an email from Epstein complaining about Michael Jackson. And in the email, I wish I had it, y'all. But in the email, he was basically saying, oh, I'm paraphrasing. I know I'll be doing the most. F Michael Jackson, he's blocking me from my not toys. What did he say? This is a whole predator. So whatever he said. So basically what he was accusing Michael Jackson of was Michael Jackson was intentionally interfering with Epstein's procurement of children. And one evidence of this was, I think, what's his name? What's that man name from A Home Alone? Oh, I can't think. Macaulay Culkin. Macaulay Culkin, him and Michael Jackson were air quote friends. Again, I'm very biased about this topic. I'm working on myself. And they said that, and I think also Macaulay I actually saw a video of him saying this, but people didn't listen to him. Basically, Michael Jackson was keeping him away. He invited him over to Neverland Ranch, a particular weekend that Epstein was trying to get him to come to the island. And so in the video, the woman was showing how is it possible that Michael Jackson, I'm saying is it possible, even though they had some more evidence in the video, is it possible that Michael Jackson, instead of I saw it as very creepy because of the allegations that came out against him, right? For a lot, I still struggle and believe that he was, a child editor or whatever. But I'm starting to consider other possibilities. First, I got mad at this video. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Y'all know I keep it real. Okay. They said that is it possible that Michael Jackson was bringing kids to Neverland Ranch to protect them from Epstein? Because Epstein's been doing this for a while. Now, you would have to go watch the whole video to see like the time frame and the different things. And even in the video, even in the comments I popped up, I was like, this is ridiculous. Didn't Michael Jackson give those kids wine? Like, I was mad, y'all. I was mad. Because I'm like, oh, here we go again. The crazy Michael Jackson people. And then I was like, oh, shit. Like, I really was like, I was very angry a few weeks ago. But then I thought to myself, oh my God, what if it is possible? What if it is possible that Michael Jackson was doing that? Like, he had a horrible messed up childhood. And so initially I was like, oh, he just had that because he was recreating his childhood and was trying to get back pieces of his inner child. And then in the process, he ended up harming children. Like, that was always my view of what happened. So I did have some compassion for him. I didn't just think he was just a stone cold person. I'm like, oh, this happened to him. And then I think it led him to this path. But then I start to think, oh my God, these people are mad powerful. Like, what if Michael Jackson, well, not what if, he was getting in Epstein's way. Literally, it was in that email, right? That he was trying to block certain kids from going to the island by inviting them over and stuff. And Epstein was mad about that. He was mad in the emails. So what if some of this was like attacks from the elite? Like, what if they did that to him? We know that some people did come out and retract their statements, but then there were people that came out and I'm like, oh no, I believe them. So again, very controversial topic, very upsetting topic. What do y'all think? What do y'all think about this topic? Again, I'm very biased. This is one of the areas of bias for me. So I'm trying to work on that. But because I have been attacked by MJ fans before, but I would love to hear from you, y'all. What do y'all think about this? Do you think it's possible? Do you think no pressure? Child, he did what he did. They just trying to spin it. I'm going to read these comments and give you guys a chance to respond. Because I really was mad at first, but then I was like, hold up. Look at what they did to other people. Look at how they try to silence people. Is this something they could have done? Like, it blew my mind. Nope. Oh no, I read that one. Yes, we're not servants for others. You know what? That's a very good point, my Tioni. That is part of probably why people keep coming out here. We're the blacks, but what about the blacks? Because they view us as, not just their human shields, but just servants. And it's just like, excuse me, this has nothing to do with us. I know about Black Cauldron. I think I'm subscribed. Pressure, did you hear that Sonya Masters killer? I sure do. Girl, I didn't even watch that video yet because she did do a video on that. I saw the short. Miss a lot of mercy. She is bad. She said he had booty cancer. I was like, Lord. Black Cauldron spoke about that weeks ago. That karma came quick. And listen, in the short that I watched from Black Cauldron, Mighty Yoni, it was crazy. She was like, she was talking about moments before that woman got murdered by that cop. She was like, it was almost like she saw his real form, right? Because she was like, I rebuke you. And he started like being dodgy. You could see on the camera, he was like looking around, like, like spazzing out and stuff. And she was like, that's because she saw, like, maybe she could see deeper than like what was meeting the eye. And that freaked him out. Because it was, that story still breaks my heart to this day. There was absolutely no reason. Like, even if he thought something was boiling on the stove, that lady was far enough away from him. Okay. And like, it was just, it's just so messed up. I don't feel bad for him. That's what I'm going to say there. I don't feel bad for him. He killed that lady in cold blood. And that lady was mentally ill. That's one of the other perspectives to look at it. Like, he's an evil man for doing that. Yes, the Epstein stuff is cray. MJ did own the majority of all the music catalogs during his lifetime. He did. He was smart. He was smart. That man went through so much, though. One thing I'll say, regardless of where I land on things, I that man went through hell. His father was diabolical. Like, I'm sure it's way worse than we can ever imagine. Anything they covered in movies, I believe it was worse than that. I do believe that MJ has or had arrested development, yes. But what I hate about this his allegations is that he had no business doing sleepovers with children. That's my struggle. That isn't related to after the first allegations. Right. Yes, because didn't he continue that? Mike Tioni, he continued that. And then the thing with the wine, um I actually looked it up. I thought he admitted to serving wine to children, and then I looked it up, and what I found was he didn't admit to serving wine to did he? Y'all help me out. They said that he would drink wine in front of his children and say it was Jesus juice. So I thought he was giving the kids the wine, calling it Jesus juice. But they were saying he was saying that to his kids because maybe he didn't want his kids to know he was drinking. So he called it Jesus juice. Child, I could have sworn he admitted to calling it Jesus juice and giving it to kids. But again, my mind is fuzzy. When they piss their puppet masters, they set them up. They sure do. They sure do. Could be another thing. Maybe he ticked them off and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna bring it all down." Or when people stop, let's say people are engaging in certain things, and then they decide, "Well, I want out." I like this now. This is a little tin hatty, y'all. Warning. But I think some of these celebrities, when we see, they just people die every day, so that is a part of life. But sometimes I think that's what be taking some of these celebrities out. They be like, "Nah, I want a different situation. I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to do XYZ to stay on top." And I think they killed them. I honestly, it's so crazy because this stuff used to sound so wild to me back in the day. But if you're paying attention, you know why I'm saying that. Like, it seemed like people be poppity pop pop when they're like, "Nah, I don't want to do this no more." Look at even Justin Bieber. Okay, see, my Tiani, you understand, honey. I'm behind on comments. I gotta read the rest of this. Um, Look at Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber done went, and Britney Spears. Why is it that these people be having mental breakdowns when they want to live their own life? Like, it's a lot of weird stuff that be happening. The PDF stuff could have been a setup for him to lose his control, but it didn't work, so they had to. Exactly. That's what I started thinking. TMZ. I said, "Lord of mercy." I've been calling this man a whole PDF. What if he's not? What if literally they set this man up? Because he was a powerful person. He wasn't just talented. This man, he didn't just command audiences all over the world. Like, he was involved in a lot of stuff. I don't know. It really, really, like, I really sat back and was like really trying to think about it. Like, oh snap. But we have photos of royalty and government officials in compromised positions with children. We sure do. We sure do. So sick. These people are sick. Um, I had to take a break for a while. I didn't even go on the hunt for any Epstein file stuff. Anything I listened to were other people, because it's so much, y'all. It's really upsetting to your spirit. Like, these poor babies and women. And then some of them died. Like, the government is so corrupt. And it's not just Republicans, it's the Democrats. What's his face? Biden didn't investigate some of the stuff either. Like, what? These files have been around for a while. Why didn't Biden have investigations? I said these people all trash. Now Biden's not in the. At least Biden's not in the Epstein file, so I'm gonna give him credit. I'm not trying to implicate him. I'm just saying, why wasn't more done for these victims? You're obviously protecting people, and not much is actually being done about that. No, not at all. You saw in the UK, wham damn Duck Andrew, did he get stripped of his title? That's nothing. These people need jail. They need jail. These people, I mean, I'll never forget. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Just like with the MJ stuff got me thinking differently. Again, I'm not completely sold. I have questions. Okay. But even the fact that I'm like questioning it is very, like, that's new for me. But what was I gonna say? Damn, I forgot. What was it? It had to do with the Epstein file. Oh yes. So I remember I used to hear people say crazy stuff about, oh, I can't even say it. I almost said it, y'all. The A word that has to do with let's just say culty people draining blood or the life force, aka life force, from children to power up. That's the best way I can put it. I would hear people say this stuff online, and I would be like, "La, these people need our psychotherapists ASAP." And y'all, now are y'all paying attention? Some of the stuff that's come out in the Epstein files, are y'all seeing? This some of this shit is real. They were really consuming bodies like of children. Did y'all see the jerky? Did y'all see there was that jerky is not regular. That jerky is, I truly believe it's cannibalism. There were pictures of jerky. Why would the FBI take pictures of jerky? There were multiple emails about jerky. Y'all think this jerky is beef and pork? I think not. Like, the stuff that was coming out is not just nightmarish. It's like, yo, some of these people weren't cray cray. Like, they were really onto something. Now, some of it was a little convoluted, or they might have blamed the wrong people. So, for example, I can't say that either. The A Chrome people and the P Gate people, part of the issues with those conspiracy theories, other than the fact that they sounded batshit crazy, was that they were focused on blaming one group of people. I think they wanted to be like, oh, the Democrats, they're funneling kids into tunnels and human trafficking them. And it's like, that alone is just like, dogs. I've said this in other video. All kinds of people are doing this evil. Like, you're dumb if you think it's just one party. Like, political parties shouldn't even be in question here. You should just be focused on the victims. And so I would hear this stuff and I'm like, these people are nuts. Like, I'm not gonna lie. This is me being honest. I'm being dead ass with y'all. I'm like, these people are nuts. There's no A Chrome. There's no P Gate. Like, people are not drinking the blood of children. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm like, this is just some wacky stuff that you concocted. And then come to find out, honey, some of this stuff is in the files. Like, am I wrong? Have y'all? I know I'm not the only one that's heard some of this stuff and seen it. Yes, getting stripped of his title. Meanwhile, Harry got stripped of his title. Exactly, just for moving out, make it make sense. It don't make no sense at all. That's not enough. We need justice. What's that Jamaican? We want justice. Like, that's not enough. Okay. Pressure. I really enjoyed this live and the thought-provoking topics you're speaking on. Thank you, sis. Thank y'all. I'm so grateful because I was like, oh no, they're gonna throw tomatoes at me on this one. I love engaging with y'all, especially with these topics that it's like stretch your brain. I'm like, I really struggle because I'm like, oh man, I might have to admit that I was wrong about this. Like, I really don't know. I'm really on the fence now because I'm like, oh my God, I've been saying this man is a whole PDF file for years. And what if he's not? What if he's not? Did he do inappropriate things? Absolutely. But I think that's what was it TMZ or Mike Tioni was saying, that doesn't necessarily equal XYZ, right? Yeah, that jerky was not animal. I saw that and I said, why are they taking pictures of this jerky? This is in the FBI. This is the FBI, part of the data and evidence they compiled. There's no way this is a regular animal. Why are they taking pictures of it? And why are there so many freaking emails requesting jerky? People like jonesing about the jerky. Sick. These people are sick. Like sick. It's scary, guys. It's scary. When I tell you, I'm like, and I have a kid. I'm like, that joint. I was already vigilant, but I was like, oh hell no. These people are evil, man. Child, they worshiping Baal. They sure are. Just like in the Bible, God didn't like that they were sacrificing children back then. And this is how I know TMZ. They like, their karma is going to be epic. Like, it's not going to be a regular karma. Like, it's not. It's going to be epic. Sidebar. And then I'm going to come back. Did y'all hear The other day, I don't remember. I'm gonna butcher what group said this. It was something about it might have been the UN came out and admitted that slavery, was it wasn't just lip service either. I'm gonna paraphrase and simplify it, that it was horrible and that there needs to be reparations. It was this man. I was watching it and they didn't even the news wicked. They be putting everything else on the news, but they didn't put that on the news. I seen that in the Canadian news. And I said, hold up. Hey, T. Evans. Ciao. I said, wait a minute. And then I got to thinking, do these people think they're going to escape justice by dangling? Now, do we need our reparations? Absolutely. Britain needs to pay the Caribbean people, and America needs to pay the Black Americans, period. And Britain needs to pay multiple people because they done fucked up. But yeah, America needs to pay them reparations to the Black Americans, period. And I said, what if this is like, this is weird and timely. It's good, but it's weird and timely. See, because I think that sometimes people know their karma is coming and they know shit finna pop off. And then they try to do a little sprinkle, like, let me do this, let me do these acts to see if I can evade karma. This is just how my mind works. Sometimes I pay attention to patterns. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying this is what's going on. But I was like, this is very interesting. This man is here on the screen admitting to out of the blue, okay, in the middle of a war with Iran, that this, that, and the third. I wish I could find it. And I'm like, no, y'all are scared. It's fitting to pop. Something about to pop off, y'all. Anyway, let's see. One thing I know is that the higher the income, the sicker the mind activities. And that right there is just the absolute truth. You know what, guys? Did y'all ever seen that movie, Surviving the Game with Ice-T? Listen, I watched that movie. I think I was a teenager and I was shooketh. I said, what is this? It was very scary. Do y'all know that one of the things I was reading, what was I reading? They said that was also something they were doing on the island, hunting people down, guys. For like hunting people down. These people were wicked. Oh my God, hi Pressure. It's been so long since I've seen you. Hope all is well. I'm doing good, love. It's good to see you. The Pizzagate thing is real too. They have an FBI page about the phrases they used to order children. Listen, they gaslit the hell out of us. Listen, y'all, I got to give credit to the people who knew and was on point. Okay. Because yes, is that related to the Wayfair thing? Didn't they find out on Wayfair they were not just trafficking kids but ordering children for nefarious things? Something happened with Wayfair that wasn't right. The U.S. voted. Yes, I also heard that. Girl, they finna get that ass whooping because no, ma'am. They're gonna try to hold on to it and lose it all. Along with Israel and Argentina. Yes, those were the three evil people, the three prime suspects. It was Israel, U.S., and Argentina. Meanwhile, how many other TMZ? Do you remember how many other countries voted yes? Those were the only countries that voted no, and then there was like another small amount of countries who didn't vote. They're also complicit. Okay, because not voting and saying no is the same thing. All they had to do was vote to say that it was. I think they had to vote that it was a crime. And what else? I don't remember. It was very simple that the transatlantic slave trade was a crime. These people, thank you, T. Evans. Thank you. Thank you. I said, what kind of wickedness this? Like these people, like, and I said, America KKK, you didn't learn yet. You didn't learn yet. You're going to have to get an epic ass whooping. And I just hope the people that are innocent don't get caught up in the fire because it's overdue, y'all. It's overdue. It's overdue. They're going to, let me tell you something, whether it's in our lifetime or not, America's going to have to pay them reparations because I believe in also spiritual reparations. Okay. Y'all don't want to pay it, but you're going to have to. One way or another, they're going to have to. So they might as well do it now, get it out the way. But I don't know how, even this also solidifies their racism. didn't Jewish people got reparations for the Holocaust? Okay. Even this makes me so mad to even have to say. Didn't funky ass Trump talk about the South Africans? What did he say? Not the regular South Africans. I'm talking about the white apartheid South Africans. He was trying to get them reparations. These people they just want to run up our pressures. They playing in our face. Okay. Um, Black people need to get the reparations, and even indigenous people to some degree. I think they need more, but they've also gotten reparations, right? I think there needs to be more, but some of them have gotten land. Well, it's not a perfect system. I'm not by any means saying that that's enough, because the reservation conditions sometimes it's not great, and even like the power that they have, it's just it's a little tricky, right? But why would they not want to give reparations to Black people? They're so afraid. Like, it's so crazy to me. So crazy. Them as wikis as the one in the UK. Yep, that has not paid one person from the Windrush boat. Oh snap. I need to look that up. Child, that's crazy. These people need to run people their money. Like, that is unacceptable. This is how I look at it. When between Donald Trump and Biden, did y'all see how much money they sent to Ukraine to fight war? If you got that much money to send to kill other people, then you have money to pay Americans reparations. Period. Okay. I will never forget when I was in undergrad, one of my professors blew my mind. You know what she said? Then this is years ago. She said this, and back then I want to say the military budget might have been like 900 trillion or something crazy. It was something crazy. It was either billion or trillion. All I remember is she said, "Did you know that 1/3 of the US military budget is enough money to solve world poverty?" That's what she said. What year was this? Child, this was a long ass time ago. I'll never forget, and this is a whole white lady. She was so, like, that lady really changed my mind about a lot of stuff. She said she changed my mind about the death penalty. She said that it's more expensive for people to be on death row than it is for them to be in jail for the rest of their lives. So people always be like, kill them. They're just wasting our resources. It actually costs more money to be on death row than it does to just let the criminal live their life out in jail or spend the 20 years. And she said 1/3 of the US military budget at the time was enough to solve world poverty. What the F are we doing? Yep, there has to be a balance in the universe, and when it isn't, the universe will forcefully balance it out. Right on. Listen, my Dione, you're on point, sis. Period. And that's what I think. I'm like, they're either going to have to do it by coming to that conclusion, or they're going to be forced to do it. I just don't know when, but they're not going to evade this. Okay, they're not going to escape it, especially since they continue to do wickedness and evil to the Black people. Okay, trying to suppress people's voter rights, terrorizing us, just horrible, horrible stuff. Yep, there has to be oops, I read that, sorry. Maybe Obama administration gave Japanese reparations. What? See, this is what I'm saying. And again, they deserve it because of the way that US treated them during the internment stuff. But none for the Black people in their own country. Like, y'all see how messed up this is? One thing I know is that no one, especially the powers that do not want Black people on. No, they don't. Excuse me. No, they don't. They absolutely do not. And you know what else? That I also have come to believe, and may be controversial for some of us. I absolutely believe that the racist elite white, I'm not talking about all white people, that's a very specific category that I just stated. I think they have also stolen spiritual technology and some of the spiritual things from the Black community, not just us, also the indigenous people, and using it for their own good. And then, because look at how hard they tried to separate us. Both of those groups, they tried really hard to separate us from our lineage and from our heritage and different things. Why work so hard to separate us from those things? Because you stole stuff that you're claiming as your own. I absolutely believe that. I absolutely believe that they out here taking the stuff that they tell us is demonic, and that we shouldn't be doing and stuff, and using it for themselves to get ahead. And because of that, that's why they don't want us to they have to keep us low to flow, because if many of us would actually step into our power, and a lot of the spiritual rights that we're born in, it will blow them away. They know, they're scared of what will actually happen to them, because all the foolery that they done did. They're worried. What will they do with all this power? We've been shitty to them for eons. What will they do? So they got our shit locked up. They done stripped us of our stuff. They done scattered us all over the place. They told the indigenous people that they need to whiteify themselves. That's not a coincidence. That shit is, I'm telling you, they stole stuff and they're using it. Black people have indigenous, yes, they do, land patents here in America. That's all I'll say. And I'm learning more about that. I'm very ignorant to that as well. I'm learning about that. I'm like, oh, there was Black people like in America before. Like, it's not just, well, they are indigenous. Like, it's so wild to me. I've checked my own records. I know you sometimes you post some of that to TMZ. Yes, I absolutely believe it. Take for example that 666 is our Black cosmic makeup. Yes, the what is it? The carbon. Oh my gosh, I forgot. Yo, it's crazy. Or even in like even in my own culture, what was I reading? I was reading about, I don't remember if it still is. I don't remember if Obia is still outlawed in Jamaica. It was for sure. But did y'all know that Nanny of the Maroons used some of that in some of those wars? Like, she was a go-to person for this. And like it, and that's when they started getting scared, and they were like, "Oh, it's illegal." They made it illegal. Like, so it's so crazy. Some of the history is so crazy. I was like, "Wait, hold up! 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons." That's right. Yep. I learned that and it blew my mind. So the real money resides in the absolute land titles. That's why they're always distracting us with reparations. I absolutely believe that, TMZ, which is why I think they also I don't know much about in America, but even here with the indigenous people, I was talking to this one Ojibwe man, and he was saying like like they haven't even all gotten their part of land yet on the reservation. So some people would have gotten their land and housing, but there's still people waiting for it. And like, he was trying to explain it to me, and so I'm like, why so slow? Why so slow, right? That just blew my mind. So I'm sure there's similar things in America. Child, I love you too, sis, because it's some stuff just like, I'm like, it's just the light bulb started going off. Like, this don't make no sense. This, and let me tell you something. I am not anti-Christian, okay? I'm not anti-Christian, but this is something that I realize. How is it, this is not all people, how is it that the same people who have pushed Christianity on us since slavery times or before, but I'm focused on slavery times, how did Christianity transform their lives? They were wicked, they were brutal, they were evil, they were rapey. How did that transform their lives as Christian? The whole KKK, all them people are Christian. Okay? They were burning crosses. They be sitting up there, they be deacon so-and-so. So I want to know, how did Christianity radically transform their lives? But you're trying to push that on us. But what did it do for you? Because you're a whole barbarian. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I started really thinking about this stuff. They was pushing stuff on people and saying, well, your stuff is evil, and da 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 da. And if we see you practicing this, or if we, we're gonna this, and we're gonna cut off this, and we're gonna kill you. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, what is it doing for you? You're still evil as fuck. You come up with ways to torture people and rip apart families. You're burning, you're bombing churches, and then we have the lovely MAGA. What are they doing? Being empowered to spread their racism and beat people up. Okay. Killing people, because there's been Black people turning up, hanging, and I know they didn't kill themselves. I don't care what nobody say. They did not kill themselves. They're getting lynched. Stop playing with me. So what is Christianity truly doing for some of these people? Okay. Meanwhile, they're telling you that what you came from is evil. Okay. Are we the ones who enslaved you? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me, y'all. Y'all got to really think about this stuff. Like, why would you push something on me that you're claiming is supposed to radically transform your life, but yet you have not been transformed? You've killed babies. You fed people's babies to alligators. You've raped people's husbands in front of them. What the entire fuck? Make it make sense. Like, I don't understand. So again, I'm not anti-Christian. I'm just saying this agenda that has what I feel has been pushed. Meanwhile, you're smudging things out. And I've said this before. Why is it that when Chinese people venerate their ancestors, they're not demonic? But if we do, we're demonic. Do y'all notice that black people be saying that stuff? That's demonic. Meanwhile, Chinese people do that all the time. And they're not the only ones. Indigenous people do this all the time. Like, what do you mean it's demonic? You're not worshiping your ancestor. Like, you're giving thanks for those that came before you, for those that paved the way for you. Some of them, because some of them, no, we're not doing it because they was all, some of them on the right side of things. But you know what I'm saying? I can't. Bright pressure. The religion dogma was to keep blacks docile. Period. I absolutely believe this, and this is why. Let me tell you something. This is why MAGA is so mad about a lot of things, and this is why they say crazy ass shit like "Make America Great Again." Like, what does that? Have y'all really stopped to ask what does that really mean? They want us. They can't scare us into submission, right? When they can't, they get angry. That is exactly what they want. Docile black people. And that ain't happening. I'm a spiritual being. I have a physical reality. Absolutely. I freed myself from religious dogma and indoctrination. Me too, Mighty Yoni. And it's been beautiful. It's been a beautiful journey, especially when you unhook yourself from the guilt of it. When you feel like, oh my gosh, I need to. Nope. There's definitely something bigger than me. Okay. I would be foolish to not think that. But this, like the religious stuff that they pump into your brain and keeps you subjugated, because that's what I believe is meant to subjugate you. Okay, that's not for me. Okay, that's not for me. What was happening before you took my family around there to the islands? What was happening? Huh? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy to me. And again, I don't disrespect other religions, but I get mad when I hear people say stuff like they just overuse the word demonic. Meanwhile, some of the stuff that you're told to do is demonic. Like, what do you mean? These people are talking about, like, one day I really sat down and I thought, the Conservative Party runs on trapping people into focusing on abortion is wrong. Meanwhile, when the life is here, they don't give a shit about the life, especially if that life is black or brown. They don't really care. They just want to tell you what to do. And now, to put 20 upon 10, they're even more worried because there's not enough white babies. So now they scared and they trying to get the they're worried that it's going to phase out and it's not going to be enough for them to control and fuck shit up. So what is it really about? If you really are about life and preserving life, it's going to be about all life. When you're voting against policies that put food in people's bellies, that provide medication for people, that provide healthcare and access, that's not pro-life. Like, people need to wake the fuck up. That is not pro-life. If that's the only thing you can do is focus on controlling somebody's body. And I'm not saying, I believe in a woman's right to choose. I'm not saying that, oh my gosh, go ahead and go have a bunch of abortions. That's not what I'm saying. I do think it's your choice to choose. But I hope that there's other alternatives for people as well. So it's not like I'm out here all, thirsty for death and stuff. But I think people are focused on the wrong things. Okay, that baby's born. How is it going to be fed? Is there health care for the baby? Is the baby going to be able to grow up in a world where, if they're black and brown, they're told that they're less than a human. Are they safe? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the shit that people really need to be thinking about. And when you have people voting against those basic human things, you have to ask yourself the question, what is this really about? And then to take it up another notch, because you have that layer where they blind people with religion and politics. Again, this is why we have the MAGA cult, because I don't believe they truly care about people. It's just about pumping their views, right? But then you have the next layer above them, which are the super uber rich. Okay, if they can keep us fighting with each other, right? If they can keep, again, that I'm sure the billionaires love MAGA, honey, because they're going to pump out a bunch of ignorance and anger. And as long as we're focused on fighting each other, they get to keep stacking their coins while we're doing slave wage work, and they're riding off into the sunset building their bunkers. Okay, so that's something else we have to be mindful of. Yes, these people, are ridiculous and cultish and have issues, but above that, who's pulling the strings? Who is pulling these strings? The billionaires. There's never enough. There's never enough, and those people are benefiting the most, because then they don't have to pay taxes on their millions and billions of dollars, as long as we're fighting about dumb shit, you know. Um, Pressure about that patriarchy is evil, because while they're busy policing women's right, thank you, I absolutely believe that. Why aren't they telling males to get vasectomies? Let me tell you, this is why I love my husband so much. I will never forget this. And it even, because sometimes we have to this is not a word, but unpatriarch our own selves. And I remember, I cannot stand, for me, birth control wreaks havoc on my body. I'm not against it. I think it's beautiful. I think it's great. And for some women, it works wonders. So this isn't me being anti-birth control. But for me, artificial hormones wreak havoc on my body. I've tried different types. It doesn't work out for me. I've even tried the copper IUD, and that don't got no hormones. Child, didn't fuck me up. So at one point, I remember when we were family planning, he was like, I was like, we were thinking about what are we gonna do after this? And he was like, oh, I'll just get a vasectomy. And I was like, what? It's like, and it was so crazy to me, because I didn't grow up with anyone around me speaking about those things. And it was almost a moment in me where my Christian upbringing was blaring no, because that's how much you've been indoctrinated. And I remember, I'll never forget that he said, women have been forced to bear the brunt of preventing pregnancies, and all of this management of things, and men, this never pushed for men. They don't have any, I don't even think they have medications for men. He was like, y'all are the ones that take the hormones and do this and do that. All we have are condoms or vasectomies. And so he's like, that's something small that I can do, so you don't have to, if that doesn't work for your body, you don't have to take that, because we tried different things, and it was so mind-blowing and mind-opening to me. My husband's also a feminist, though, and I was just like, wow, this is a whole man, understanding that. Yeah, it opened my eyes to realize, that is so true. That's always put on us, right? We're the ones that have to take the pills, and then even with condoms, sometimes they don't even want to do that, child, so it's just so much pressure is put on the woman for, the prevention of things. And it would just really open my eyes. And it's true, they don't push that. They don't push that at all. And on top of that, they're trying to take stuff away. They're trying to take coverage, right? Didn't they try to take that away, coverage for birth control? I tell you, these people, I don't understand the women who support this stuff. I'll never forget, I was watching a video not too long ago of this woman, and she is MAGA, but voted conservatively, and she almost died because how they changed all the laws with abortion and stuff. She had a pregnancy that wasn't viable, and it was going to kill her and the baby if she didn't terminate the pregnancy. There was a lot of issues, there was a lot of stuff, and I don't remember, she just ended up getting lucky and getting some lawyer or something that, but like she was appalled. She was appalled. And I'm thinking, like, man, why are you appalled? You voted for this. Like, it has to happen to you. And that's the thing. Some people don't change without pain. That's what I've learned. Some people don't change without pain, especially racist ass people. They don't change unless it happens to them. And even some of them, they so hard headed, that's not enough. You see these farmers that done lost their farms, okay? You see these people that's lost their businesses. You see these alcohol chains that's struggling. Some people don't learn until they feel pain. And this woman, and I bet you it still doesn't make her compassionate for the liberal women that are just loose and just want to stick something in every hole, because I'm sure that's what she thinks, right? It took her almost dying to realize that was a mistake, to not be able to have that option. And I thought to myself, that's interesting. So you didn't care about the other women this was happening to, or did you not think it could happen? Very sad. I definitely don't trust a misogynistic, hating ass, racist man. But what I definitely don't trust is a woman who's like that. Like, you're voting against your own self-interest. At least a man is evil, but it's not going to affect him. But boo boo, you're voting against yourself. This is why I was so mad at women who voted for him and people of color who voted for him. There's nothing in this for you. Nothing. And it's sad that people have to lose it all or have near-death experiences to understand how serious this is, or see, innocent people die in ICE custody. Even if you are illegal, you don't deserve to die like a goddamn dog in a cell. Send my ass back home. At least I could be with family on the other side. These people don't deserve to be treated like this. And especially if you're a whole citizen on the streets and they doing this. I can't wait to see them they come up to ICE. I'm waiting. Anyway, exactly. How can anyone align themselves? I just don't understand. I don't get it. And nobody ever convinced me that this is okay. There's not they will never be able to guilt me, make me feel bad, gaslight me into thinking, oh, it's not so bad. They're just MAGA. Like, no, let me tell you something in closing. These people who hide behind groceries and taxes and fear of being overrun by immigrants and all this other bullshit that they state, that's not why they voted for Trump. You voted because you're hateful cunts, and you get exactly what the fuck you deserve. The only people I feel sorry for are the innocent people who are a victim to your voting. Okay? I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for not one damn person who lost their business, who almost died, who I don't care. That's where I'm at, because you didn't care. You didn't care about the other people, your fellow human beings. There's millions of people who are affected by your hatred and bigotry. You didn't care, and some of y'all still don't care. So miss me with the bullshit when evil befalls you. That's all I gotta say. Anyway, y'all, thank you for being here. I love this conversation. It made my heart full. Yeah, and thanks for entertaining some of my what ifs. Because I'm like, damn, like I never thought about it this way. There's so much to unpack there. Thank y'all for being here so much, and I really enjoyed talking to you. And hopefully I'll be back soon. Oops, I missed some comments. Yes, I only feel for the innocent, not those who are complicit. Amen, mighty Yoni. Absolutely. And this is part of our energy conversation. Saving our energy. I can't think of the word right now, because I've learned that like stop. It sounds messed up, and this is counter to how I was raised, in Christianity, but like, I'm not going to waste my energy on people who wish me harm and wish the people that I love and care about harm. I'm not. Energy is limited from, like, you don't have unlimited energy. Okay. There's only so many hours in a day, and there's only so much things you can get done and do. And I have learned, stop wasting your energy on people that could give a shit about you. Learn to love yourself and focus your energy on where it's going to matter. I have a friend that voted for him. Every time she comes to Jamaica on a visit, she stays with me for free. There you go. That's right. Charge her, tax her to heaven. No more. And that's it. That's it. Um, it's so sad. It's so sad, but you have to. And even in the holiday, uh, I think this was after the election happened. I had listened to a few different people talk about how it was going to be a tense Thanksgiving, right? After the election. And there would have been people facing each other who have Trump supporting family members. And this clinical psychologist was on, and she was talking about, and I'm paraphrasing, but she was like, absolutely protect your own sanity and mental health. If you, like, people don't understand, it's deeper than the vote. It's your life. It's your life. If you don't understand that, then if I don't want to be around you, that's it is what it is. You have to do what you have to do. Like, if people want to be willfully ignorant, there's nothing you can do about that, right? There's nothing you could do about that. And I just, that's why it was hard for me. I had a friend too, here in Canada who, well, I'm totally still surprised that she's a Trump supporter. She's kind of changed and become very conservative. It's kind of weird, but one day we just were talking, and I went to visit her, and she just casually was like, she showed me a picture of her and her son, and they dressed up as Trump and Melania, which I thought was weird, but whatever. and, and I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, she's just making fun of him, but I didn't care. And then she started talking about Kamala, but she was very tasteful. She didn't like go hard. So that didn't really bother me. And then, yes, protecting your energy and your period. Just wait until August and then she can stay here. That's right, sis. Let her find her own way. Don't bring that energy up in your house. Because it's not worth it. Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about, that radical self-care. And my friend was like, slowly she was asking me certain questions, and I was just, again, she's the type of person that, like, you would never think would go down that rabbit hole. So I wasn't worried. Wagwan, she's a creative man. Hey sis. Oh no, we're about to leave too. And I see you doing your thing, posting your designs. I know, I've been a bum. And she was like, thank God my son wasn't there, because she has a son that's like a year older than Kwame. And she was just talking casually and asking me questions. And then this is when it took me leaving to realize, oh my gosh, she's a Trump supporter. So she's like, what did she say? She said, well, what do you think? She was talking about Kamala, and I was like, whatever. I didn't really care. And then she asked me, because she's white, she said, well, what do you think about the black people voting for Trump? And the way she asked me the question was like, it was, not only was it dumb and out of touch, it was like, girl, what the fuck? Like, so I didn't even, again, because I would never in a million years think she was a Trump supporter. I think she started hanging around some weird people. I said to her, because y'all know I just don't mince words. I was like, I think they're dumb, and I think they're self-hating. So then her eyes got real big. Her eyes got real big, because I'm thinking like, and again, I didn't piece this together till later, because I was like, there's no way Steph's MAGA supporter or whatever. So her eyes got real big, and what did she say? She said something else to me. And I said to her, again, because I'm real and who I am, I wasn't going to edit it. And I wasn't even worried, because I just didn't think in a million years. I was like, what did she say? She said something about Trump and, damn, I don't remember what she said, but this is what I said to her. I said, there is no way, and I had no idea at the time. I didn't put it together till after I left. There's no way anybody I care about who is in my life can claim that they love me and be a Trump supporter. And her eyes got really big. And I said, you know why? I'm a black woman. I'm a woman. I'm an immigrant. I'm a sexual assault survivor. Like, I just was listing things down the thing. I was like, there's no fucking way. There's no way you could tell me you care about me and you vote for somebody like that, or even align yourself with somebody like that. And that was me saying that, not even realizing she had went down this dark, weird path, right? And then what did she I don't even remember. Everything else was a blur after that. I said that shit to her face. And then I put it together when I left, and I was like, oh shit, I think she's a Trump supporter. And I think she asked me about black people because for some reason she think because these self-hating ass black people that voted for him, I'm supposed to be one of them. Like, girl, what did you haven't been listening to anything I've said to you. Because if you for a minute would think that I would support this man, you're smoking the strongest crack there is on these streets. Okay. And it was so crazy. And ever since then, I don't fuck with her. Like, I did, because she never came out and said it. If she came out and said it, I would have said to her, look, Steph, I can't hang out with you anymore. Like, this does not align with my views. Usually I can tolerate opposing viewpoints, but this is where I draw a line. I didn't even do it because I was like, you didn't even have the guts to say it. You were just fishing for details. And your answers and responses let me know what I need to know. So I just don't hang out with her. My son, don't be playing with her son, period. Because it's not a game. Okay? I don't play these crackhead games, y'all. Like, everything I say on here, I be dead ass. Like if you don't, that's your life. People don't realize it's life or death. If you're hanging around somebody like that thinks it's funny or it's tea or it's okay for somebody to be like that, you're fucking with your life. These are people who you'll just get, abducted and end up somewhere else, and they don't even know what's happening because they think Billy Bob was cool. These are people who are not going to vet the other people around you. You're not safe. It is my belief that I am not safe befriending somebody like that because there's no fucking way. That's what I truly believe. That's the conclusion. So I just separate myself. I don't have to cuss you out. I don't have to, be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Like, if she said it, then I would have been like, wow, this is how I feel. I'm gonna have to take a break from you for a while. And if I see her, I say hi. I ask her how her son's doing. But I have no desire to go to your house and hang out or have my child play with your child. Period. Yes, absolutely, sis. You're welcome. I know I see you on your hustle and flow. I be here just because I'm not on here. I still be watching. Do you notice it's mostly the washed up has been looking for? Okay. I didn't even engage anymore. They're just we talked about that too, sis. We talked about how like that's part of your self-care is not even being like limiting the reaction that you give. Precious, she told you without telling you who she supports. Exactly. And I pieced it together. I felt bad that I was slow in the moment, but then I looked back and I said, Tamar, good job. You were authentic to who you were. So it didn't even matter. It didn't even matter that I didn't peep game till after, because I said it with my whole chest. I told her the people that vote for him is dumb. And I said, there's no way you could be a supporter of him and care about me or be my friend. And then after that, I had one of my friends run recon because they're messy. And they're this person is on Facebook and stuff, and they be spouting all kinds of nonsense. And then my friend was like, yeah, girl, she would be on there praising Trump and stuff. You didn't know because I'm not on Facebook. I deleted my Facebook years ago. My friend confirmed she was a whole MAGA supporter. So because at first I felt bad, and then I was like, no, there's no way. Why would you look so shookest at what I'm saying? Why would you look shookest? And so my friend was like, yeah, girl, she be popping off and stuff online. So I was just like, oh, time to go. Y'all remember The Color Purple when the man closed the piano? Time to go. I said, oh, hell no. The hell no. You're not going to put me and my child in danger with your fuckery. Like, get the fuck out of here. And then that was when my husband, I was talking to my husband about it, and he was like, he was like, Tamara, your mistake is thinking that conservative people can only be like super religious people, because this person's not religious at all. And he was like, there's definitely a subset of like granola folks who like do not, who are super conservative. So don't make assumptions. And I had learned from that, because I'm like, this girl, I would never have thought. I would never have thought, y'all. So that's my little story. I just distanced myself, and I'm sure she knows. But whatever. If she ever wants to talk about it, we can. But it's not going to be pleasant. I'm not going to yell or carry on, but I'm just disappointed. I'm just disappointed. Anywho, I love y'all. It's 2 hours. I've been running my mouth for 2 hours. Let me get off of here. I love y'all. Thank you for showing up and chatting with me. If you're watching a replay, thank you for watching. I'm gonna try to get some of these timestamps in here, because this is long, y'all. I'm not sure in here immigrants, but the level of disdain I'm seeing towards immigrants, yep. That's going to be a whole nother video from some Black content creators supporting the vile behavior from ICE. Is embarrassing. I've seen a bunch of that, sis, on here, but mostly on LSA. And here's what I have to tell you. It's very sad. It's too much to talk about now that I'm leaving, but there's definitely, I've been encouraged by Black Americans who see that that's a ploy to separate and divide, right? It's very sad. It's very, very sad. And I just, like, those people, even on LSA, I just block certain things, because I'm just like, I'm not reading this. Because I don't know if you're a Russian bot or if you're actually a Black person that's saying these crazy ass things. And the crazy part is, in real life, I would never hear people saying stuff like that. It's just online. But it's just sad. I'm glad I don't live there, because yes, girl, it's crazy. It's so crazy. I cannot believe it. But yeah, I think sometimes it really made me think, because I'm pretty open, and it made me question. And I even said that to my husband, like, what would her think? Like, she really was not paying attention. What would make her think for a moment that I would be in support of somebody like that? And I don't think I don't really know what she thinks. And the more I pay attention, I'm like, she's out of touch, and she's kind of airy fairy anyway. But I'm like, why would you, what? Like, and what rhetoric are you listening to that allowed you to align with this dingbat? Like, just people will just surprise you, child. But yeah, I'd be there's people I don't support. Like, if I know there's businesses I don't support, you gotta put your money where your mouth is when you can, right? Because yeah, these people think it's a game. They think it's a game, and they're not really doing their homework, and they're not even paying attention. They're not paying attention. Like, if I have to break things down for you about why these things are bad, you're not, like, again, you're dangerous for my life. You're dangerous for my life. Like, you're putting my life in danger. This is how I think about it now. It's a radical view, but that, like, when I see what's happening, this is what I tell myself. If you're not privy to how racism works, or the fact that there's even racism, or how white supremacy works, or how trash MAGA and their antics are, you're a dangerous person. I don't desire to spend time with you. I don't have time to break that shit down for you. You can go learn on your own. And I won't be around while you're learning. Like, I don't have time for that. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't have, even like when I see videos of people who are like, I'm converted from MAGA. How long? How long has it been? Are you a triple trumper? Because it's not long enough. If you just got it together, congratulations, but you can stay over there. Now, if you figured it out after the first election, come on over, have a seat. But if you're just now figuring out that this man is trashity, trash, and what he stands for, And again, this is my last rant because I'm supposed to be out of here. This is why I get so mad at evangelical Christians. Like, again, if you're not this type of evangelical Christian, I'm not talking about you. But the evangelical Christians expose the fuck out of themselves. Okay? Because the first round, maybe I could say you got duped by Trump. Maybe. I still think your discernment is off, but whatever. We all make mistakes. But if this is round 3 of voting for him and supporting him, it was never about Christianity. It's about your bigotry and hate. Period. And fuck you. Like, I have nothing else to say. There's just nothing you can ever say. This is the Charlie Kirk fanatics. None of that stuff makes sense to me. None of that aligns with Jesus Christ. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You're not making sense. Like, literally, I grew up in one of the most strictest versions of Christianity, Pentecostalism. Like, no, I don't identify as that anymore. But those people are cray-cray, and they have a lot of rules. And holiness is their thing. There's no way you can't trick me into thinking that man is holy. There's no way. There's no way. Anyway, I digress. Read these last 2 comments and hop off. It's sad how gullible a lot of people are and how easily they get tricked. It's true, and it's very, very sad. They're speaking on Amber Rose, Nick. Yep, we talked about him, girl. We talked about him earlier on. I absolutely ignored them, and that's what we were saying too. We're paying them dust because they were never important to us anyway. They were irrelevant. That's so funny because that's exactly what we were talking about. We were like, yo, nobody's checking for Nick Cannon. Nobody's checking for Amber Rose. Like, the last thing I was excited about Amber Rose in was the fabulous song "You Be Killing It." She did a great job. I loved that video. I love that song. That's my positive Amber Rose memory. Other than that, girl, bye. Like, girl, bye. Anyway, y'all, let me stop running my mouth. I'm gonna get off of here. I love y'all. Have a good rest of the day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.